G'day, punters. Welcome back to another huge edition of All In. Joined again this week by none other than Dean Watling from the Barrier Attendant and Lewis Willoughby from Sky Racing. First off the rack, we'll go with Dino. Dino, how are you, mate?
Going well, Louis, Gannon. Another week down. Group 1 Menzies just gone. It was a nice weekend. Tracks played both fair at Caulfield and in Sydney at Rose Hill. So keen for that to happen again this week. A little bit of rain around, which we'll touch on, but I'm looking forward to another big week.
Outstanding. And Louis, how you going, mate? I'll tell you what, the Chooks are low flying, mate. You'd be a happy man over there in the east.
Yeah, very happy. I even managed to go and check out the North Sydney Bears play yesterday as well, just in case we get a few injuries, see what's coming up through the ranks. But that was a good day. Yeah, Chooks are flying. I've missed the collared shirt memo, but I did see comments last week spraying me for wearing a suit and tie. So I just can't win. I don't know. I've just gone for the jumper today. I'll probably get sprayed for that. I'll leave it alone. Leave it alone.
Speaking of which, I'll tell you what, Louis, none of us were missed last week. We've all copped an absolute hiding. I've copped a hiding for Animo. I've copped a hiding for saying Elation can't win. Copped a hiding for just everything. And look, bring it on. It's great. Keep going.
Yeah. I got one too. I got sprayed for tipping those two horses that didn't even make the final field. And apparently that was well-known knowledge that they weren't going there. So clearly my lack of Dioring got caught out there.
Nah, look, to be fair, I think there's a great article that comes out on racing.com that had one of those, at least one of those runners in there confirmed with the jockey, I think. But look, that's the way it goes. It is all in betting and you can get stung. So if you're out there putting your last ball on all in bet, give yourself a uppercut. Righto, boys, let's have a little chat about the weekend that has just gone by. We'll start off. Dino, horse to follow, mate?
I got two, Gannon, both from Rose Hill. First one was race 5, horse named Elise, I think it's pronounced. Best last 6, last 4, last 2 of the entire meeting, off an absolute crawl. They went 13 lengths slower than the average there. The race won by Old Flame. Is that the name? I think it is.
It was, mate. Yeah. Good horse, that.
Yeah.
Know some decorum form lines too. Just don't even know.
Isn't it?
And the second one comes up in the San Domenico, horse who got absolutely hammered at 350. Buenos Noches. I'm not sure if that's correct, but I'll run with it, Louis. You'll probably fix it up for me. But best last 2 of the race there, 11:44 after getting hammered at the 400. I don't think there's much else out of that race to follow. So Buenos Noches. There's 2, Gannon. What did you find?
I might need some help with my pronunciation here as well. There's one in the last for Waller. Mana Nui, perhaps. New Zealander. Now, it's been beaten 6, but just go check out the last 400. Probably more in particular the last 100, and maybe even the last 50 metres past the post. Follow, and then we're going to go all the way up the front here. Top, where are we going? Scrolling through, apologies. And I think it was Golden Mile. Did anyone see that? What are your thoughts? In the worst, what would you deem as the worst going? Kaboo, absolute just picnic. It's got its own way. Good horse, ran well, but Golden Mile for mine, still $26. So beaten 2 lengths, and what are we looking? 3.4 lengths back to Basque, Ringmaster, Lethal Thoughts, Charlatan, and a whole lot of other slow ones. So there you go, boys. Louis, right of the week.
Yeah, beauty. I've gone a bit of a cop out, but not really because I thought it was a good ride. It was Ethan Brown on Snapdancer in the Memsey. Straight to the front. I love seeing, and there's a few jockeys that can do it well. Linda Meach is one of them. A jockey who's just like clocking the head, knows what sectionals they're running in front. In a Group 1 race as well, that's not easy. Easy to do at the Valley, on a Friday night in a benchmark 64, whatever. But Group 1, got to the front, controlled them, slipped on the turn, not for catching. When I'm Thunderstruck's not able to run you down, you've obviously controlled that so well in front. So, yeah, Ethan Brown, take a bow. First Group 1 win in Melbourne for him as well. So a big day for the young man. Well done to Ethan.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, Lou, it was impressive stuff. I haven't done any Melbourne sort of formal recap, but just watching it, you're like, oh, this is no good here. It's no good. Yeah. Like I was on a Cascadian thinking, oh, this is just not a picnic at touch, but it looked like we've got an easy time. Dino might be able to elaborate more on that.
But I've got his sectionals here, 11:44, 11:80, 11:80, 11:60, 11:56. They broke the half. Bang on. The last 200, 1240 just clings on late. You can't run that down, especially Caulfield 1,400 metres when you're leading. It's
that's exactly right. That is exactly right. What about What about this 3-year-old crop that are coming back, boys? We saw those 2 races, the up and coming in the San Domenico in Sydney on Saturday. Has it been a bit of a letdown, those 2-year-olds coming back as 3-year-olds in Sydney at least so far, and maybe in Melbourne too? What do you think, Dino?
Yeah, you mentioned it prior to the show. Jacquino is probably the one that's bucked the trend. He was absolutely brilliant on the weekend. He ran 4th in the slipper. And we always see sort of 1 or 2 horses who can do that, run good as 2 and then sort of come back and kick on as 3. Animo is obviously 1. But outside of that, I think we can take on this 2-year-old Autumn Form a lot. Best of Bordeaux went around $1.90 favourite. Yeah, we had excuses, but at that price, how are you going to back him going forward? You're going to have to get a lot further. We saw the trials of Fireburn as well. She looks a touch dour this time, 1,200 metre trial this morning. Dormier's gone no good. Queen of the Ball, no good. Revolutionary Miss. 7 Vales have all sort of failed. Then you get Sweet Ride, who bobs up at 35. So it's all over the shot at the moment. But for mine, I'm keen to pot it. Gannon, you similar?
Yeah, I agree with you absolutely. Again, so I did know Sir Jardin's was dead set low flying this morning at the trials. However, would rather see it come up again. They can all try well. It's whether they produce it on race day. Mate, yeah, for mine, I'm looking at a different angle. I think we can definitely look elsewhere other than the autumn. So for mine, Pen Job.
Very interesting. Very interesting. That doesn't read well for one of my tips later on in the all-in plays. I'll give you the hot tip. Speaking of, massive weekend coming up this week. I think we were speaking prior to recording that we could have had anywhere of 6 or 7 races to talk about, and we probably still will mention all of them in some circumstance. But yeah, big weekend coming up. A few of these tab markets are just filtering through. So let us start with the Chelmsford Stakes. Thanks to Tab. Favourite is Profondo at $3.50, Surefire at $4.50, Moonga at $5, Benno $8, and then Montefilia is an $11 pop to start them in double figures. I'll just quickly kick things off here with the Chelmsford. It was a race that I was not going to have a bet in because just a lot of them are stayers who are second up here, and some of them are coming off really good first up runs. And look, I've got no real statistics to back this up, but I noticed that sometimes staying horses can run out of their skin first up, and it'll be all blinking light stuff, and then they'll get to 16 or 1,700 second up and just be very flat, and then third, fourth up, they'll get back up again. So with a lot of the horses in the market in that kind of condition, I was wary of tipping one. I'm going to go with Benno. We all saw his return in the Wink Stakes, really strong through the line. What I found interesting with Benno is that in his previous 2 preps, which is all he's had, he's gone 1,400 first up and then straight to either 1,800 or 1,900 second up. This is clearly different. This prep, he's going just to 1,600 second up, which I like is a different tactic they've taken with this horse. And so at $8, I think in that market, where some of them will flop second up just the way it goes, maybe $8, I thought he was the play. But yeah, no real massive confidence in the Chelmsford this year.
What do you got, Dino?
I've got nothing in there, so I'll throw straight to you. I think you'll touch on the wet track, which makes it very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's going to be a really, really interesting race. So we've got a 7-metre rail. We've got sort of 10 mils to 8 mil, 10 mils on Friday, and then 8 mils predicted on Saturday. So, and we're currently a heavy 8. So assuming that it probably doesn't get much better than a soft 6 by Friday, and we probably end up back at a heavy 8 come Friday, and then could be anything come Saturday. So Profondo, happy to risk that at the 350 pass. Also dual nommed. Surefire, up and going, so I don't mind that. The 450 and has some heavy form. Moonga, Louis still going. The search party's still out for it. Benno can't knock, but a little bit concerned. Still want to see it produce, at this level against these types. And I think the one for mine, and this is another one from Louis, I'm just stealing it straight out of Louis' handbook here, is Stockman. It was absolutely flying home, and I get it. It's not set for this trip, right? I totally get that. But if we get enough rain, it's the best bet tracker there by 100 yards. So as far as an all-in play goes, Stockman at the $15 and $4.50 place is the all-in play for the Chelmsford Stakes.
Yeah, my thing with Stockman was, and as much as I raved about it a few weeks ago, whatever it was, and the heavy track, big tick, out of the stayers in this race, it had got up to the highest distance last preparation, 3,200 metres. So Like $15. I know I'm so tempted in the heavy track. Yeah, it's a tricky one, but I like it. Thanks, Gannon, for tipping up one of mine. I appreciate it, mate. Makes me feel good inside.
Anytime.
All right, let's move to the Concord Stakes. Next to the race we're going to touch on here. Eduardo's the 250 favourite in this all-in market. Malkovich at $4.50, Zapateo $6, Masked Crusader at $7, and the first at double figures are Andermatt and Espiona at $10. Who wants to touch on the Concord first?
Straight into it. I'll tell you what, I'm really falling off my chair when you said Eduardo 250 because without word of a lie, I reckon half an hour ago it was $3. So they're smart. They're too good. I could not possibly back Malkovich, given that we look staring down the barrel of a heavy track. 3 starts in a heavy track, 1 place. On a heavy 9, that placing couldn't beat Tycoonist home. Tycoonist doesn't get near Eduardo, so fair. You can give yourselves an uppercut. If you're taking the $4 there, mate, you hate your money. So Eduardo from behind us looks like an absolute bet. I know you've only got 250 now, so maybe just keep your powder dry. But if you've got the $3, you're a legend. Up you go.
Yeah, very good, very good. I'm going to go with Masked Crusader, and I'm pretty bullish. I know the rain is a concern. If it stays in a soft range, I think it's fine. It's got 2 wins through 5 on a soft and 3 minor placings as well, which is good enough. Heavy, no, but if it's just somehow we pray in soft 6, I don't know.
Run the covers over there, mate. Just run over.
Yeah, get the helicopter out. Why don't we get the helicopter out again? Surely, come on, far out. This race, the Concord, really good lead-in race to the Everest. 3 of the last 5 winners of the Everest since its inception have won this race first up. Redzel both times, and another one I can't remember. Might have been Nature Strip, possibly. Anyway, really good lead into the Everest. This is where this horse is going. I'm pretty sure anyway. You'd think so, Masked Crusader. 1 trial. Gee, it was good through the line in that trial. That was a proper trial. You just look at the way he trialled. He's a different animal, I think, again, which is crazy because he's been going around for a while. He looked big. He looked strong. And all reports that day at the trial, they had clipped him up, the team, like, giving him a shave. Normally when you clip up horses, they can look quite dour. Apparently he was just glowing in the saddling enclosure before they went onto the track. So I think he's in a really good space. 3 wins from 6 starts first up. Clearly flies fresh. Handles soft, as we mentioned. $7. I'll take all of that. Thank you. And I'll be praying that we can borrow Dino's helicopter to dry out that track once the rain inevitably hits anyway. Okay, moving on. Next one, the Mcewen Stakes. We go to the Valley this Saturday. Mr. Brightside at $2.50 is favourite. Zaki's in the market at $3, and I'll let you touch on that, Gannon, in a second, because they said if there's going to be rain in Sydney, they might come here. Who knows? Inspirational Girl at $4, Earlswood $5, Surefire $8, Uncle Bryn and Forgot You at $13, and Spanish Mission there at $13 as well. Dino in the Mcewen.
Yeah, interesting point Gano made. I'll steal his thunder here and steal his information. Zaki, obviously, if it's wet in Sydney, he might come down to here. And I think if Zaki goes down to there, it'd be a good platform to test Zaki out over the Moonee Valley course, leading into a Cox Plate. If Zaki does go there, I'll be playing Zaki. But for now, I'm just going to keep my powder dry and throw to Gano.
Shoulders, arms for me. I have no opinion in the race whatsoever, other than, geez, only one man that can really steer in a winner down in Melbourne, Lewis Willoughby.
Far out. I feel like I'm tipping too many horses. This is crazy. I'm going to go with Forgot You, who, annoyingly, when I wrote this down, seriously, 10 minutes ago, it was an $11 chance. It's now out to 13, so that doesn't bode well for me. It's already a Group 2 Strut Stakes winner at this track and distance. It's been set for this race by the stable. To the bloke who sprayed me last week for not doing my research, I did this week, and I found an article that said this horse is going to this race. It's had 3 trials or jump outs. I think it's going to be really wound up. It won the latest at Cranbourne over 1,400 metres with a leg in the air. I think it's flying. Obviously, this race, the Mcewen, if you win, you're into the Cox Plate. This is the golden ticket. No wonder Mr. Brightside's here. No wonder Zaki may try and come here. And I think Forgot You, if they can steal a ticket into the Cox Plate first up, you beauty. It's even bigger now, $13. I can't believe it. I'm really keen to play, knowing that the horse will start in this race. So, yeah, for me, Forgot You. I think it's a big, big chance at a good price as well. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Flying through these, the Mcewen Stakes now, where Coolangatta is a 230 favourite, so it's already in from 250 that went up. In the Congo, 350, Rothfire $8 away game, and the Inferno at $9, and then Swats that and Calypso Rain, who won down in Adelaide, is a $15 chance. Dino, take number 700 for you to tip us into a winner. Mcewen, anything?
Let's go, Dino.
I've got an opinion here, so stay put. But Coolangatta, $2.30, that is the biggest over-exaggeration. Off the top of the show, we potted that 2-year-old on form. She could be, she'd be good to be the best of a bad bunch. But $2.30, you can have all of that, and the rest could even lay at a place potentially here, boys. But I've gone with Yulong Command. We liked it last week or 2 weeks ago. The rain came, drew out at the Valley, scratched. Now back at the Valley, should be a dry track. It has an absolutely cracking record here. Loves it. Loves these short course tracks too. And I think that horse is rocketing at the trials. Had 3 trials too now, boys. And if you want to take a look there, they're very, very good. I don't really like front runners at trials, but this horse has been steaming along. So Yulong Command at $26 is super. Gunnar, you've got no opinion here, so I'll just throw straight back to Louis.
All right, I feel like I'm running out of money. I'm tipping again here. I will preface this by saying I wrote this up when I knew the horse was going to be there, but I didn't know what price this was. And when Dino sprayed it pre-recording,
you're with
$5. I agree. I'm not surprised at the price, and I'm not really encouraging anyone to just charge in at the 230, but I'm going to go out on a limb here. I think Coolangatta can win an Everest, and I'm dead serious. I think, yes, the 2-year-olds aren't really coming back. I think there's going to be a few exceptions, and I'm almost certain that this is going to be one of them. She only had 4 starts in her 2-year-old campaign, which is not much, for 3 wins, a third in a Golden Slipper. That's a really lightly raced campaign to some of the other 2-year-olds that are coming back. 2 jump out wins, and the latest at Cranbourne over the 800 metres was absolutely sensational, like proper smart stuff. It won by 3.5 lengths on debut in a gym crack at this distance. It races on speed, which I think it'll appreciate at Moonee Valley. Again, 230s, no spoilers, and I'm not urging you to charge in at the price, but this is genuinely my horse to follow for the spring, Coolangatta.
Look, you try and get one of those cut-up snippets that we put on Twitter, mate, just so we can cut that bit up, a bit of, fanfare or something. What's going on? That's a big call.
Yeah, I know. It's huge, and we've just spent the whole podcast spraying the 2-year-olds into 3-year-olds, but I've backed this thing for the Everest. I'm serious. I think this is a proper horse who's going to come back and prove a few of the 2-year-old form lines that haven't bounced back as a 3-year-old wrong. Well, I hope so anyway.
Yeah. We need a 3-year-old to step up. So I hope for the stake that it does, because it just adds more excitement to the Everest or every other market. So in that sense, I hope she does turn up.
Outstanding, boys. All right, let's get your best all-in play for the weekend. Louis, starting with you.
Yeah, Masked Crusader at $7. Best in all in for me. Just hoping for a soft track and not a heavy.
Dino?
Mine is in the Furious Stakes. In Secret, should have won last start. J-Mac jumps off Paris Dior and sticks with In Secret. It will be winning, fellas. Gano?
Outstanding. I'm going to go the Tramway Stakes. We're going to tick Converge at the $4.50. $2.30 Zaki. If we get to heavy, probably won't be showing up. Profondo, $6. Not sure who likes the wet. And then you're going down to Ice Bath around the $8. She's not a horrible bet, but for mine, not sure if she's up to it at the moment. So Converge defeated horse called Animo in the Randwick Guineas on a heavy track. So goes all right. So there you go, boys. Now, before we wrap it up, it's been a cracking show. We've covered a lot. We're going to go Wednesday best bets. And first, we'll go over to the man over there. Now, Lloyd, before we get into that, just quickly, no Jack Hill this week, mate? What happened? No ride of the week? What's that?
$1 shot goes under.
I couldn't possibly blow my own trumpet 3 weeks in a row. But yes, Jolting did win again. Yes, they put up $20. Yes, we boosted it. Yes, the bookies got absolutely smashed. Thank you all for coming. No, all praise to Reece Goodwin, though, of expert trainer fame. He's only been going 2 seconds, this bloke, and his at least play strike rate is through the roof, picking up these English digital horses who are not going much good and just turning them around and getting prize money for owners. So big congratulations to Reece.
Yeah, he's doing a super job, Reece. I've had a couple of conversations with him over the last few weeks, and he's low flying, knows his stuff. Hopefully we can get one down to him soon enough. Righto, Louis, give us your Wednesday's best bet.
Rightio, Sandown, race 5, number 6, Naboo Star. It's a Hayes horse, ex-Hong Kong. It was first up last start from a spell, got back behind a really hot tempo, was out of screen on the turn. Its final furlong, massive, ran a third best last 200 of a meeting off a speed that was minus 8 lengths to the 600, which means they went 8 lengths quicker than average to the 600. If you're getting back off a hot tempo and running meeting best sectionals, huge, massive, massive tick. Second up, 1,600 metres, equal grade. Thanks for coming. I think it can win a pretty handy, maybe listed or some kind of black type race this spring. So Naboo Star, race 5, 6.
Love it. Dino, what do you got?
Yeah, Louis, that horse was absolutely enormous. That was, out of the screen, like you mentioned. I'll go Sandown as well. I'll join you. Race 1, number 13, Waltz on by. No luck at all in the Quizette. Drops a stack back in grade. Moonee is flying at the moment, and this horse jumped out like a proper group class horse prior to that debut run. So it will be winning. Short odds, but that's all right. We'll get the day off to a good start at Sandown. So race 1, number 13, Waltz on by, boys.
Super stuff. I'll make it short and sweet. We're going to go Warwick Farm race 2, number 4, Roots. It'll be winning. No prices out yet. If you can get $2.50, something. Righto, boys. Super stuff. Great episode. We'll be back and group run racing next week. So look forward to it.
Let's go. See you guys.
Cheers, guys.